Okay, in order to do a simple animation on Scratch, first things first, you come to your sprite and click on sprite, and then let's take, normally when you open your Scratch you have this card moving here. Now to animate this card, you come to costumes, and you can see that there are two different costumes. There is this and there's that. So this is card number 1 and that's card A, and this is card B. Back to code. If you want to animate card to move around, first of all you give an event. So let's say when the green flag is clicked, green flag is for go. So when the green flag is clicked, you want a change of costume, and the very first costume we're going to be looking at is costume number 1, which is cat A. So let's say looks, and then we change outfit. So we switch, this is, let's look at A here, and then it's going to glide, that motion, come to motion and then glide for 1 second. Or let's reduce this to 0 0.05 or 0 0.5, 0 0.05, maybe something that will be easy to see, 0 0.5. And then now, in order to get the starting position of this our card, if you drag it and bring it down here, you will see here on the x-axis is minus 92 and the y-axis is 38. Why are we having this? To change the background, click on, let me bring you back. To change the background, you click here on backdrop, and then it's going to give you the different backdrops. And let's see why we have this coordinate. So you have the coordinate here, x, that is positive x and negative x, positive y and negative y. This is 2D animation, so you have just two axes. Now the position of your cat or your cartoon or your character is now calculated based on this. So if we put the cat here, you see that down here it is, the x is minus 191, so it's somewhere around here, and y, which is this other axis, the blue, that is the purple, sorry, is minus 128. This is 100, so 128 is somewhere around here. Okay, so that's how we get the coordinate. Now to change it back to where, let's say, okay, we choose that. Now this is our coordinate. We want our cat to move across from here to, let's say, in the middle here. So we are going to have to change the coordinates that is on this glide, because from x is showing us minus 86, but actually it's minus 191. So what we do is put minus 191 in x, and then y, it is at minus 128. So put minus 128, and then that's the starting position. Now wherever we want it to end, to move to, let's say it moves to this point, the variable here has changed. That's the axis has changed from x being 191, minus 191, to minus 162, and y being 128, which is the same. So now in order to let the next change in costume move from this previous to this, we now come back to our looks. We are going to switch our costume again to costume B, and costume B is going to come in and also glide. Motion, we take motion and then we are gliding, that is the position. Now let's see how this looks like. So that's that, it's moving from the beginning to the end. So if we are here at the end, it moves from there to there. Why did you start there, my friend? Okay, now we can now duplicate this part of the code and have it duplicate this again, and then we have this, and then it's going to be repeating. Now we have had 1, 2, and then we need the next set of movement. It is here. We move it again like this. That's going to give us minus 121. So instead of 128, here should be 0.5. Instead of 128, we should have 0.5 for all times. And the same goes for you. So instead of 191 here, we are going to have 121. That's minus 121 for the x-axis, and then we're going to move it again, and then we have minus 187 for the x-axis. Now we don't change the y-axis because we don't want our cartoon to be jumping up and down. But if you want it to jump up and down, minus 187, if you want it to jump up and down, then you can change the axis. I'm going to show you how that's going to look like. It will be soon minus 182 minus 52. And then we have finally where we are ending here. Okay, 18. That is should be minus, and then here we have 12. We have 12. So let's see. Now to make this look more realistic, you see our x-axis was our y-axis was maintained, so it was not jumping up and down. Now to make it look more realistic, we are going to have to move from when it switches to custom B, it jumps up maybe by a 10, let's say 10 each time it comes back. So we're going to have 118. Let's see, did I change the wrong variable? And then we have that, let's see, good, so it's jumping, and we have to now make it land because it has ended custom B, but it's supposed to end with, what did I do? It's supposed to end with costume A. So we come back to looks and then switch costume, we bring costume A. At the end of the day, now we have somebody who's jumping, is running, and then it stops there. Now in order to have this, our costume B, we also need to tell it to glide. So just going to copy this. This is quite similar to Mixley, and then we're landing on 128. That's our interest, there is 128. And okay, let's see, run, and then lands there. Okay, now so we have our motion, and then the next thing that we are going to have to do is we add a sound to this. Before we do anything, can we save this? So scratch project 1. Okay, the next thing we have to do, we have to add sound so that the footsteps, we can hear the footsteps. The sound that comes at first is, that's the cat, We can change the sound by clicking on that sound also there, and then my mouse is disturbing. All right, now we want footsteps. Let's take footsteps. It's quite easy. So we are running, but we're going to have to cut it. So it's jumping, so I'm going to select this first part and I create a new sound with it. That's footsteps number 2, and then I'll come here. Let's see, play this, and then I'll take this and create footsteps number 3. So we have footsteps 1 and then footsteps 3. So coming back to our code, we have to add footsteps. Each time our cat takes a step, footstep sound is heard. And in order to add sound, we come to sound, click on sound, then you hear here we have start sound. So or maybe let's say we put footstep sounds after the first, and then we could use just the footsteps, and then it's running. Okay, so we have, and then the sound, if you notice, the sound stops before, it stops after our cat has stopped running. So in order to stop the sound, you come to sound and then you say stop all sounds after the last step. So here, okay, then we can now add other sound effects like talking. Let's say we say something like wait for me, it's chasing something. It's already 13 minutes, it's going to be long. Okay, now remember we have to tell a story. So if we have to tell a story, the story could either come in the background, or maybe when it stops, now you can have your animated cartoon now tell a story. Do you want to tell the story using the sound, or you just want to say something? For instance, it can be reaching here. When it stops here, say, oh my goodness, I am so tired. Okay, so it's going to say this is going to last on the screen for say 5 seconds. So let's see about that. So it runs, and then when it stops, it says, oh my goodness, I'm so tired. Now we can add a sound to this. If there is a recorded sound, you can add a recorded sound to it, but we don't have a recorded sound. Let's say there is a pre-recorded sound I have, but it's not talking about that. In order for me to get that done, I have to change this background. Come to the forest, let's say the jungle here, and then our cat is here. So I'll have to also place the spider. Should I place a spider or a dinosaur? Okay, so we're taking a dinosaur. Or let's take a dragon. This dragon has different costumes, 3 of them. There's this, run gives fire. So we can use two of them, this and this. Now our dragon is going to brighten. Okay, we can reduce the size of the dragon, make it 50% smaller. So reduce it and keep it somewhere here. Dragon is supposed to be big. Then we can change the color of the dragon, make it dragon is supposed to be black, right? Make it dark. And then make it dark. Now this is not essential, but like, okay. Let's change the color of the wings, make it a little bit lighter. I'm supposed to. Okay, make the wings like it. That's color. Look, make the wings lighter. So that okay. Alright, so this guy comes to the jungle, finds dragons spitting fire. Change this to 80.